Yes.
Where have you seen the most success so far?
The most success so far I've seen on Poshmark.
Okay.
I did in the early days see a lot of success on eBay, but it has switched to Poshmark for me, and honestly on my own.
How has List Perfectly helped you grow your business?
Okay, I'm waiting for this question, everybody, because I would not be on here unless I truly believed in this platform, this site, which I do. It is a game changer for me. It has saved me time. I have a great example. I went on last night and I said, let me just relist like 10 things. And I timed myself and it took me under 10 minutes, like literally. And while I was in there, I relisted to eBay and some other sites as well. Just one click, bloop, 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 bloop. It was great. I also wanted to know, I had a question from someone and I just wanted to answer it. And they asked, if it's beneficial to share to parties, to the night parties, because they really don't see sales from that. And my answer is yes, 100%. The more you can share, the better it is, because your item goes on Poshmark. It goes into the brand feed, and that's where most people look to buy. They're not always necessarily looking at the party itself, unless you're under host picks or just in. But with List Perfectly, not only can you share that item, but honestly, my tip, this is my no nonsense BS, no BS tip, is that I will actually sometimes relist the same product, okay? And I won't take off the old product. So now not only is it a host pick, it's in the fresh, newly listed. If it's in the designer, it's in the designer items. You want to get in as many categories into Poshmark as you can, and you're in the main feed. So the chances of you making a sale is much greater. Just share your closet as much as you can. And my strategy is also to share new people. It's always about the sharing. So once you get all your items listed and shared, and then you go on to List Perfectly and you relist some items, then you go and share new closets. It's all about working the system.
So we have another question. We have Brittany asking, have you seen that lowering your prices has led to more sales?
Just last night, I made 2 sales by lowering my prices. So what I do is I lower it to my lowest, okay, towards the end of the week. And if I get no bites, then I go into List Perfectly and relist it as a new listing, and I scratch the old post, because I'm not in the game to, I'm not in it to accumulate likes. I'm in it to accumulate buyers. You know what I'm saying?
So true. So true. What marketplaces do you sell on, and what are your favorite marketplaces?
I sell right now on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. And I would say, as far as the platform I enjoy the most, probably Poshmark, just because it's cuter, it's more fun, it's more current. So I would say I enjoy probably Poshmark as far as the selling experience there the most. However, I make the vast majority of my money on eBay.
What is the typical percentage off that you're doing on your Free People, your J. Crew, and your Zara?
I mean, it really heavily depends on, if it's new with tags, I would say I'll probably do it at about half of retail. If it's not, I'd probably price it at about 30% of retail, I would say. Starting off, and then, it's always offers, and I take offers everywhere. I take offers on eBay as well. So I always try to leave that little bit of room for, people to come in and, offer a little lower, and then everybody's getting a good deal.
That's smart. I love that. So how has List Perfectly helped you grow your business?
Oh my gosh. So I work with a very large inventory, and within, a very short time, I had everything cross-posted to eBay. Then I was like, oh, maybe I'll try Mercari. I don't know. Went for it, went hard on it, got everything copied over there. And now I have all my stuff on 3 platforms in like a fraction. I mean, I can't even imagine how long this would have taken me without it. So, I mean, if anyone asks if it's worth it, I mean, it is beyond worth it.
So do you find that some type of items sell better on certain marketplaces? I think that's a great question for you.
Yeah, I would say brands for sure. I think Poshmark is pretty, generally kind of a young, trendy sort of marketplace. So I definitely find that brands are kind of more everything on Posh. I think eBay, I think, has just a large variety of shoppers because it's been around so long. And I find that, like, if I have more mature kind of things, like maybe like say like Chico's, Eileen Fisher, that kind of thing sells better for me on eBay. Also, I sell a lot of really unique, weird things on eBay. Like if I find something that's just really unique and special, and I'll grab it because I like to sell what I like, and I like weird, unusual stuff. And typically that kind of stuff for me sells better on eBay. So I guess, but I'm sometimes really surprised too. Like there's been times I'll list something, I'm like, well, I'm going to list it everywhere like I always do, but it's probably not going to sell on Posh. Guess what? Like that's the first thing that sells on Posh. So I'm always surprised too. And that's why I just cross list everything because you never know.
Diversifying is like such a key to your business. I mean,
yes.
Why put all your eggs in one basket when you don't
Seriously.
have to? And when we have services like List Perfectly to make it so easy not to.
You definitely have to have your shipping down. I personally choose to just ship myself because I find it's cheaper that way. And with Mercari, I would say just list literally anything and everything because it's different than Poshmark in that it's not set up to be kind of like a social platform like Poshmark is. So there's just anything and everything on there. It's kind of
like a yard sale, right?
Yeah, people kind of call it a yard sale, and it kind of is in a good way. It's just anything and everything. Yeah, I would say post whatever you got on Mercari. You really just might sell it the same day. You never know.
Okay, awesome. Well, let's start off with what marketplaces you sell on and where you see the most success.
Yeah, so I started off on Etsy a couple years ago. I did home decor. I took a break and then I started again on Poshmark. And then lately, since I've joined List Perfectly, I started cross-listing to Mercari and eBay. And right now I'm focusing on Mercari, so you're not going to see a whole lot in my eBay store. But once I get my sister up to date, we're going to get back on eBay. Yeah, and I think vintage is really trending right now with the younger generations. They're learning about sustainability, and then especially with Depop, I definitely want to get on Depop soon because the type of stuff I pick up, it's kind of like minimalist meets boho meets 90s, I guess.
That's going to do so well on Depop. How has List Perfectly helped you grow your business?
Oh, that is so much. I was able to cross-list more than half of my closet in just a couple days on Mercari. And like I said, when I first started using List Perfectly, like that first month, I made a couple hundred sales on Mercari. And that wouldn't have been possible because I was screenshotting and like copying, pasting all of the descriptions. And so it wouldn't have been possible to grow and then reinvest that money back into inventory, especially when the virus hit, you couldn't go thrifting. So you kind of had to pay up to thrift online. So it was really important to have List Perfectly.
What is one thing that you wish you knew about reselling when you started? Because I just know that there's those moments you wish you could go back in time and shake yourself and be like, no, but it's gonna be okay, and like this is the better way to do it. So what is that advice that you have for yourself and for all the other people watching?
Definitely to be yourself and to not try to copy other people. I mean, you can use other people's business as an example. I like that. I'm going to try that out and see how that works. But really connect to who you are and what you want for your business and what's important to you in your business, and go with that, because what makes your brand is you, and that's what going to make you more unique.
What do you find moves the quickest on Mercari?
Shoes have been moving pretty quick for me, and I'd say more bread and butter mall brands. And especially with the virus hitting, a lot of my average sale price kept around $20. So $20 or less. Yeah. So a little bit lower end on Mercari, but it sells faster.
Okay, so what would you suggest doing if you have something that sat forever but just isn't selling?
Definitely relist, but before you relist, you want to look over the photos, make sure you have good lighting and you have good search words and you have a good description. You can't just say like a few words. You want to be able to describe an item so that the keywords that people are looking for, it'll make your listing pop up.
And I also say, like, answer any questions in the description. Like, even if you just put the key things, like let's say you put like, you know, brand, style, color, condition, and then you put like a line, just make one of those little underscore lines, and then you write everything in the world like that needs to be written under. Like, that's a perfect way to keep your listings looking clean, but also getting the information out there.
I would say add measurements too, especially with jeans, because people will ask what the measurements are, and then they'll find another pair that have measurements and purchase that. And by the time you get back to them, they're not interested anymore. So definitely add measurements to jeans.
Next Thursday is our next Superseller sessions. Every single Thursday, we're interviewing 3 top resellers and getting amazing advice from them. So follow this perfectly and keep watching.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye, Bethany.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. You're amazing. Thank you for everything.
So are you. All right, I will talk to you later. Bye.
Okay, bye.